So, nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulihil kareem, amma ba'ad. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Qala Allahu ta'ala, inna hudallahi huwal huda. Wa qala Rasulullahi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, khayrukum man ta'allama al-Qur'ana wa 'allama. Sadaqallahu al-azim wa sadaqa rasuluhul kareem. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Allahumma arhimni bil Qur'anil azim waj'alhu li imaman wa nuran wa hudan wa rahma waj'alhu li hujjatan ya rabbil alamin. Rabbi yassir wa la tu'assir wa tammim bil khair. Ameen summa ameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, everyone. In the last 7 sessions, we have looked at many things, and the main things we were after are the category of verbs. The parts of speech. We know there are 3 parts of speech in Arabic: the noun, the harf, and the verb. And in this class, we have been focusing on the verbs. So in the process, we started with fi'l al-madi, which is the past tense or the perfect tense. And it has been the focus of our attention because in Arabic grammar, fi'l al-madi is the default verb pattern. And after that, we have gone through many iterations of how to make the conjugation. When we say conjugation, how to make the 14 variation of fi'l al-madi when the 3 root letters are given, and how do we make them into different words. Then we also learned about fa'il, who is the doer of the action. And we also learned about the maf'ul. And then we looked at all the details about the fa'il and the maf'ul. They can be inside, they can be outside, right? So finally, we get to the point in our last session. Then we looked at the fi'l al-mudari, which was the missing piece of the puzzle. So in other words, in last session, we got all the ingredients. And today, with all those ingredients, we are ready to, let's say, cook the food or get to the next level. So we were collecting all this data, and now we are ready to make something with it or do something with it or go to the next destination. Yeah. So did you understand this part, like why this is so important? Like in today's lesson, we're going to put all of these together and derive something out of it. Yeah. Okay. So we know that in fi'l al-madi, if we have a verb and the root letters are kaf, ta, ba, and it has to do with something with writing and reading, so you will get kataba for the madi, which is he wrote. Now the counterpart for mudare, which represent the present and the future tense, we get yaktubu. Yes. So we learned that in the madi, there is something called a suffix, and it comes towards the end of the verb. And in the mudare, there is something called a prefix, and it comes in the beginning of the verb, right? We looked at some of these examples. For example, katala, he killed, that's the madi, the past tense. When you make it present and future tense, you get 3 meanings out of it. You can mean by saying yaktulu, you can mean he is killing, he kills, and he will kill. Now over here, what happened? We have jalasa, fi'l al-madi is still, and we have to look at these harakas. See, this is fatha, this is fatha, this is fatha. And over here, fatha, fatha, fatha. So we have to understand what is going on here. This is our fa letter, this is our ain letter, and this is our lam letter. And we learned in madi, the fa and the lam letter, the haraka stays the same. It stays fatha, fatha along the way. The only haraka changes is the ain letter. So over here, katala, jalasa, zahaba, they are all the same. They all have fatha in the ain letter. But what happens to the mudare? Over here, katala change into yaktulu. So what happened here? The ain kalima has the dhamma. When we had jalasa, the mudare was yajlisu, and there is a kasra on the lam letter or the ain letter. And when we had zahaba, we got yazhabu. See, on the ain kalima, we have fatha. So what's going on here? Over here, they're all fathas, but over here, we have 3 different variations. Making sense?
Yes.
You see the pattern? If you haven't paid attention earlier, maybe now you can see that there is a dhamma on the ain letter, there is a kasra on the lam letter, and there is a fatha on the ain letter. Yeah? Similarly, when we had shariba, so over here, the ain letter changes into from fatha to kasra. Agree? Now,
Yes.
what happened to the mudare? Yash rabu. And there is a fatha on the ain letter. Weird, huh? And then kathura, and we had yakthuru. So there is a fatha dhamma on the ain letter, and there is a dhamma on the ain letter. So last time, some of you or one of you did pointed out that, Brother Abid, what is going on here? You said yaktulu is qatala, but when you say jalasa, you don't say yajlusu, you're saying yajlisu. Because even think about it, if I say yajlusu, does it sound good? It doesn't sound good. Yeah. So there is a pattern here, and today our job is to decipher this. Our job is to once for all understand this. What is this? What's going on? Inshallah. So are you ready for this?
Yes.
Inshallah.
Okay.
Yes,
Good.
inshallah.
Good. So for that, let's look at some prerequisites. We said that the way we identify a fail al-mudare, which we also call imperfect tense, we have some signs, and the signs are ya, ta, alif, and nun.
No.
Yes. So these are where are they going to be in the fail al-mudare? They come in the front of the verb. So as soon as you see a verb and you see a ya, you know this is the third person. If you see a ta, you know it's a second person. If you see alif, it's the first person singular, and noon is the first person plural.
Plural.
No. We. Yeah. Now, if you remember, I took a special class or a special time I took out to say in Failul Madi, you're going to come across fa'ala, which is, look at the red one. Haraka only changes on the ain kalima, right? So how many variations we can have? Fa'ala, fa'ila, and fa'ula. Can we have any more
3 variations.
variations of this? We can't, right? These are the 3 variations of Failul Madi. So similarly, Failul Mudare also have 3 variations. Yes, it has yaf alu, yaf ilu, and yaf ulu. Yes. Okay. So
Right.
it will come to you. So now the big question: what are the 10 measures of Arabic verbs? What are the patterns? There are 10 patterns of Arabic verbs, and the measure in Arabic is known as the wazan. What is known as wazan? If you are looking at an Arabic book, they will say the wazan is this, or you can call it a pattern, okay? Or I call it a family. You can call it a group. You can call it a category. And so the first one is fa'ala. Yes. And what it is the measure type number 1. They use the Roman letters or Roman numbers to tell me this is number 1. And these are the regular roots. By the way, in this class, we are only learning this fa'ala. Okay. In the future classes, right after this class, when we finish it and we start over, we are going to be looking at this one, fa'ala. This is the second form. And fa'ala, this was the third form. And the fourth one, af'ala. And tafa'ala. Okay, these are called mazi, what do you call, mazid fi afwal. Okay, let's just look at them. We just want to give you a preview. We're not going to go into that. So over here, these are the next 10 forms altogether we're going to learn, and we need them to master the Arabic verbs. Yeah. So this is the number 8, number 9, and number 10 is this one, and we are focusing on this fa'ala one. So this is for your preview, that this is yet to come. But the good news is, whatever we learned here about the verb, the conjugation, the file, the maf'ul, and everything else we learned, they all going to apply as is on the rest of the forms. Is that a good news?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. Alhamdulillah. So once we learn one template, then the next template is just learning the changes and the new things. The rest is going to be the same. Yeah. So let's go back to fa'ala, form 1. Which one is the form 1? Fa'ala, this one. This is form 1, right? This form 1 happens to have 6 children or 6 families. What are those families? And you have heard from me many times, but today we are going to make them a standard. We're going to say, this is our learning point. We need to know them, and this is what's going to drive us in the future. Yeah. So the Arabic grammar people have picked up these 6 names or these 6 families as a standard for us to understand future or other Arabic verbs. Is that making sense?
Yes.
It does.
Very good. Alhamdulillah. So we have family number 1 called Fataha. And the abbreviation for is small, this fa alone is fa from the Fataha. So if you want to donate it by this letter fa, the moment you see this fa in front of a verb or in front of the root letters, you will understand that I am dealing with the family of Fataha. Okay. Now look what happened on the Fataha family. First, we have the Madi, Fataha, Siga number 1. So when we are learning the verbs, we're always looking at Siga number 1 as our learning point. And then we know how to make the variation. So look at the Fataha, Yaftahu. What is the haraka on the Ain Kalima in the Madi? Fatha. What is the haraka on the Ain Kalima of Mudare? Fatha. The point to be noted, right? So that is why it is known as Fataha. And I'm going to come back and explain this more. Look at the Nasara. Is Nasara also have same pattern as Fataha in Madi?
Yes.
Yes. But look in the Mudare, it becomes Yan Suru. What
Dhamma.
become? Yan Suru. The Ain Kalima become Dhamma. So they call this combination Noon, Bab, Nasara. And the Arabic word for the family is or Bab. Bab is like a door, right? So Bab Fataha, Bab Nasara. Look at the Daraba one. It is also same thing as Fataha in Madi. But look in the Mudare. It changes into Yadribu. What is it changes into? Yadribu. What is the haraka on the Ain Kalima? Kasra or Zair. And then this pattern is known as Daraba. They called it family of Daraba. And how they donate in a singular form? They by giving you the dot. Similarly, Samia, Yasma'u, Karuma, Yakrumu, Hasiba, Yahsibu. So what are the 6 families we're going to learn? Or we're going to try to memorize? Fataha, Nasara, Daraba, Samia, Hasiba, Karuma. To make it easy, we are going into this chart. So what we have, we know that when we have Madi, Fa'ala, we can have 3 combinations in Mudare as well. We can have Yaf'alu, Yaf'ilu, and Yaf'ulu. So far, so good. Is it possible that if we have Fa'ala, we can have 3 combinations in Fi'l al-Mudari? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, let me try to, and the reason the word here says follow the Arabs, because see, we are learning a language which is not our language. We are dependent on the people who created this language. So whatever they seem or deemed necessary or whatever rules they made, we don't have the flexibility to say why or can we change it. No, we just have to learn the way they did it, and whether it comes to us easy or not, we have to adopt that, but we just need to follow the people who created this language. Okay, so look at this one, Madi, Mudare, and we have, and right now I'm going to use I said the theme for this this class is the wedding planner. Okay, so why did I say that? So let's assume that Madi is one family, or one family, and Mudare is one family. And Madi happens to have 3 sons. Okay. And Mudare has 3 daughters. Yeah. And they hired a wedding planner to make match between them. And with those matches, they come up with the 6 different variations or 6 different possibilities. Okay. What are those possibilities? So when they look at the son number 1, which is Fa'ala in Madi, Mudare said,
bhai, you have got all the ladies very interested now after saying wedding planner.
Okay, that's why I thought if I use this example, I got both brothers and sisters a little bit more attentive, inshallah. So Fa'ala is the son of Madi, and Mudare has 3 daughters. They are known as Yaf'alu, Yaf'ilu, and Yaf'ulu. Any questions on that? Is it possible that the Mudare can have these 3 daughters? Okay.
Yes.
So then the wedding planner said, okay, for the son Fa'ala, Mudare is willing to match any one of his daughters with Fa'ala. He said, okay, if we go this path, if we go Fa'ala Yaf'alu, we are going to get a family called Bab Fataha. Okay, and their Madi will look like Fataha, and their Mudari, and look, the harakat will be Fataha, and the Mudari will be Yaftahu. Got it? So the wedding planner went one way. He said, okay, let me patch up, or let me match Fa'ala with Yaf'alu, and I get this combination. Bab Fataha, if they get married, we will call them Bab Fataha, and their 2 siblings will be Fataha Yaftahu. So far, so good. And please, I'm trying to make a concept understandable. That's why I'm using this silly example, but you try to get what my point is. So second matching is, if they match with Fa'ala Yaf'ilu, they call it Bab Daraba, and it will be Daraba Yadribu. So what happened from here to here? This, and we are interested in the Ain Kalima. When we have the Ain Kalima on Madi Fatha, there are 3 possibilities with Mudare: Fatha, Kasra, Dhamma. Making sense? The third daughter will be Yaf'ulu, and it will become Bab Nasara, and it will become Nasara
Yansuru.
Okay. So why the Madi is always Fatha, Fatha, Fatha? Because the son is Fa'ala. Making sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
And why these are Fatha, Kasra, Dhamma? Because the daughters are
Yaf'alu, Yaf'ilu, Yaf'ulu. Yeah.
Making sense?
Yes.
Alhamdulillah. Then they said Madi has the second son who is Fa'ila. Does Madi have Fa'ila son also?
Yeah.
Okay. Then the daughter Yaf'ulu said, I'm not interested. But these 2 daughters were interested. So they say, okay, if we match up Fa'ila with Yaf'alu, we are going to get, and the Yaf'ilu will get Bab Samia. And what will be the details? Sa, Mi, A, and it will be Yes, Ma,
Yasmi'u.
Yasma'u. You see, because of this. This is Fatha, so there will be Fatha here. Okay, the next one is Bab Hasiba. It will be Hasiba. In the Madi will be Hasiba, right? Because Madi is not going to change because it's the Kasra one. And it will become
Yasibu.
Yasibu. Follow? So if you look at if you look at this and this alone, you will say, what is the difference between this and this? It looks the same. Yes, in Madi they look the same, but you have to look at the combination of Madi and Mudare to make sense of this thing. Making sense? Look, in this Samia, you have the Fatha on the Ain Kalima. In the Hasiba, you have the Kasra on the Ain Kalima. Is that making sense?
Yes.
Okay. So then the third son Madi had was Fa'ula. So there was only one daughter interested, and the other daughter says, no way, Jose. So they said, we can only patch up or match Fa'ula with Yaf'ulu, and we get the Bab, Karuma, and then it will be Ka, Ru, Ma, Yak, Ru,
Yakurumu.
Follow? Now, is it making sense what I showed you earlier? Why those 6 families? Yes, please.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Now, with a show of hands, how many people thought that this...
Sorry, Abid bhai, I have a question.
Yes, please, go ahead.
So, when in this example, when you start with the first one with the Zabar on it, Fa'ala, you get 3 options. But when you go down to Kasara, then your option goes down by 1, and then with Dhamma, you have just 1 option left.
Yes. And this is how the wedding planner,
and then you just says, this is how we just have to believe it. There is no logic, there is no reasoning
There's
behind
no
it.
reason. The only logic is the wedding planner, who was an Arab, he did this matching, and he says you have to stick with that. These are the 6 families you get. Okay, now look at, before I take you off from here, I want to quickly take you from here to something like this. And I've been showing this you all along. So for example, when you go to this tool, you remember this tool?
Yeah.
Okay. So over here, let's see, we look at this balagha. Yeah. Now from the balagha, do you see fatha, fatha, fatha?
Yeah.
Yes. And does it look like Madi?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you click on this now this will make more sense to you. So before I do anything, let me change the translation to English so that everybody can benefit. Okay. So you guys see this? So the root words are ba, la, ba, lam, and ghain. Yes. And look what they're giving you. They're saying, guys, this root words, you need to make the pattern on Bab Nasara. Did they give you that information?
Yeah.
Okay. So you will be thinking that how would I know this? So we are dependent on a dictionary, and we're depending on the Quran, that how these words are used. And then with practice and learning and knowledge and repeating it, inshallah, we will get this experience. Okay. In the beginning, you would have to do a lot of lookups like I am doing, right? So Brother Niazi, I will come to you in a second. Just give me let me finish my thought here. So when we had the root letters ba, la, gha, we have the pattern nasara, yan, suru. Now, can you put ba, la, gha into the nasara pattern? Then you will get madi, ba, la, gha. And what will you get in mudare? Yab, lugu. Is that making sense or not? So far, based on the rules, is it making sense or not, guys? Just give me first this information.
Once you know the rule, it becomes very easy. It's just a matter of knowing which rule to apply here. That's all.
So that is why I have been stressing that in order to enhance your learning, if you use this tool, if you use this way, then you will understand what is going on here. So yab, lugu. Now this root words are also used with Bab-e Taf'il. Now Bab-e Taf'il is something we are the rest of the forms, right? You looked at, there are 10 forms. So we are not interested in Bab-e Taf'il at the moment. We are interested only in the Bab-e Nasara, because this is what our understanding is. And it also comes from Bab If'alum. And when we get to know these Babs, you will understand why different Babs, why different patterns. Because we need a lot of vocabulary, and one set of the Bab or family cannot give you all the vocabulary. So you need to have different, families to give you different words. Okay, so far so good. Okay, then if I click here, look what happens. Do you see this information? It says Nasara yansuru, Nasaru yansuruna, Nasarta tansuru, Nasartum. What is this, by the way? Aren't these are the 14 different patterns we can make with the pronouns? We said,
yes.
We have Madi, and we said Madi has 3 sons. We looked at the first one, and we said Mudare has 3 daughters, and it makes sense. And we said, okay, let's mash them up, and we derive these different families out of them. Yeah. Does this have any complexity other than just learning that, okay, with fa'ala, I can do yafalu, yafilu, yafulu. Straightforward, isn't it? Okay.
Yes.
Trust me, when I was learning Arabic, as you guys, I used to trip and get confused about these things. But then I bumped into this chart, and then one person was explaining this. Since that day, trust me, it becomes a piece of cake for me, alhamdulillah. So if you just take my word for it and just pay a little attention, and it's very logical. You have 3 combinations, then there are 2 combinations, and there is only 1 combination, and we are deriving 6 families out of this. So you look at this. This is Bab Samia, and this is Bab Hasiba, and then Bab Karuma. So the Yaf Ulu family is the easiest one, because there are no more matching up. They're just saying, okay, let's match the boy, which is more suitable for the girl, and that's it. Yeah, because Fa'ula, Yaf'ulu, no problem whatsoever. Only this pattern, and we are happy family here, and Bab Karuma. Yeah, and these are names they selected, or these are some of the root words they selected, and this is how we got it. Now, this whole chart is available in this way as well. Okay, Al-Madi, Al-Amr, and some example. So when we have Fa'ala, we will get Yaf'alu, and the command will be, then again, I'm going to start introducing the command today. Command is when you say do. If you want to, what is the meaning of Fa'ala? He did. Yes. Yafalu, he does, he will do, or he is doing. So if you want to give a command to somebody, do, you're going to say if'al. What are you going to say?
If'al. If'al.
And in the next session, I'm going to teach you how do we make these commands. Yes. So today, just get acquainted with them. And the next session, inshallah, I'll teach you the method. How do you derive the commands from the fi'l? Okay. So that is does it look like a Fataha family? Fa'ala yafalu? Okay.
Yes.
And the example is Fataha, he opened. Yaftahu, he opens. Iftah, open. Is that a command?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, then Fa'ala with Yaf'ilu, this is going to become If'al, and this is Bab Daraba. Isn't it? Bab Daraba? Yes. Daraba, he hit. Yadribu, he hits. Idrib. Making sense?
Yeah.
So about the Fi'l al-Amr, I don't want you to spend too much energy on it for now, because we're going to go in a lot of detail next week, inshallah. Okay. Then we had Fa'ala pattern, and we have Yaf'ulu pattern from the Mudare, and it will become Uf'ulu or Uf'ul, and the pattern will be Nasara, Yansuru, Unsur. If you want to say to somebody help, you're going to say Unsur. Yeah?
Yeah.
Is this the first 3 families with the son Fa'ala from Madi?
Yeah.
Okay, good. The second son, Fa'ila, we can have Yaf'alu, and the Amr will be the same, If'al, and the Sami'a, Yasma'u, Isma. Got it? Fa'ila, Yaf'ilu, If'il, Hasiba, Yahsibu, Ihsib. Yeah, consider. And then we are going to do
Karuma.
Fa'ula, Yaf'ulu, Uf'ul, Karuma, Yakrumu, Ukrum. Yes? Okay, these are the vast majority of verbs in Arabic language. These are the vast majority of verbs in the Arabic language. They have 6 different patterns. All changes only occur on the middle letter ain for the past and the present. Okay, since we have only 3 harakas, Madi will have 3, Mudari will have 3. Their combinations, their different combinations, we derived 6 families out of them, and that is the majority of the verbs in the Quran. So, did we get this picture now? What's going on?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.